you clearly are a backwards hat guy, and it takes a certain player with moxie to pull that off, which you're doing right now. Have you always been the backwards hat guy?
I guess, I don't know. Yeah, when I usually wear a hat, it's usually backwards. So
Fair enough. It's that simple. I shouldn't doubt it. I look at your mustache too, and so I mean the combo of both is very nice.
Yeah.
Now, you should have some moxie because you're on the offensive line, and it's a position group that's gotten a ton of off-season love. We've talked with all of you about it. The media can be viewed as poison, and you don't want to read into that. But how do you handle that personally when you hear not just accolades as a group, but for you as well as a projected NFL draft pick?
Yeah, personally, and I think even just as a group, we understand that, these accolades and things, they were kind of given to us for a reason, and they're not going to be there after the season if there wasn't a reason for it as well. So, we're just keeping our minds focused on what's most important, and that's going out and playing well and playing as a unit and doing the best we can and let the awards or accolades or whatever it may be follow, and hopefully we can do that and play as well as we hope to play. So
maybe it's just the responsibility of your brother Campbell to keep you humble, right?
Yeah. He does a good job of that. I try to push myself to stay ahead of that guy. So
fair enough.
Yep.
Clark Barrington is with us on BYU Sports Nation. It's game week. I'm sure that it's hard to put into words just how excited and thrilled you are to be nearing an actual game. It's how it is after every training camp and the grind that is involved there. But you're going to a place that's going to be hot. It's going to be humid, muggy. There's a 50% chance of rain.
Yeah.
How do you prepare for those types of scenarios and conditions when you're in Utah and it's coming, but it's just so different?
Right. We're doing our best, the best we can to prepare, whether it be wet ball drills or practicing in the afternoon when it's hottest, and we're doing the things nutrition wise and hydration wise to prepare our bodies and our minds. So when we are there, we stay sharp and we perform the way we should perform. So, we're doing everything we should do to prepare, and hopefully we'll pay off.
Let's say it rains. Does that give BYU an advantage against a team like USF, in your opinion?
I guess we'll just have to wait and see if that happens. We'll see what happens.
Let's talk about USF. You've viewed film on them. You think you have a good idea of what their defense is going to do, and you certainly know what your offense wants to try and do. So what do you know about the Bulls and how they're planning on attacking the BYU offense?
Yeah, I'm super excited for this game. They brought in a lot of transfers and a lot of talent from other places across the nation, and they seem to be piecing it together very well. And the guys that are still there that were there before, they're great athletes and they're very talented. And so, we're just taking our planning very seriously, and hopefully in the end it will all pay off. So,
what's different about this season? Because largely it's the same group of guys. But what's different about the atmosphere around BYU football this year compared to years previously that you've been on the team?
I think there have been some changes, but I think it's stayed pretty similar to years in the past, and I think that's a good thing, right? We've started a good culture here, and that culture just continues to thrive, and we're doing what is now known as BYU football, and we're trying to stay physical, stay tough, stay fast, stay aggressive, and all that we do. So, that culture is still thriving here. So
maybe you just partially answered my next question, but what is the strength of the offensive line?
I think it's just, the more you can play together, I feel the better you're going to be. And so, having guys that have played in multiple games, having, what is it, like 8 dudes that have played in games and played together for multiple seasons. And that just helps create continuity up front. And it just helps us to play better together, which in turn helps, the team play better. And so, I'm just super excited to see how well we work together this season and see how that goes.
As good as last season was and as solid as the offensive line was, and Connor Pay corrected me. I think I said you gave up 15 sacks last year. He's like, no, Spencer, it was 12. It was only 12. He's very aware of details. I was like, okay, I get it. As good as that was, where do you feel like you need to be better statistically or in certain nuances of offensive line play?
For sure. There's many different aspects. But just to point out the one that you were talking about, sacks, we hope to never give up a sack, right? And so, that's kind of our goal, is to keep Jaren clean and let him, do the things that he needs to do with the ball so that we can get up and down the field and score. And so, keeping that pocket clean and creating holes for our running backs and just doing the best job we can.
Hard to quantify how much a team improves over a training camp. I know you've been putting in work outside of training camp as well and in player run practices and whatnot, but where do you feel like this team improved the most over the course of the last month?
Yeah. I just feel like everybody's confidence, in each other and in ourselves, has, increased and confidence in the scheme and in the plays and in just our knowledge of the game. I think that's where we've taken a leap of just increase in knowledge and confidence in the game and in ourselves.
So I've heard from a few players and recently read, as a matter of fact, from some different personalities around the team about Jaren Hall's demeanor in the huddle. And it's all obviously been very positive. Yeah. But from your perspective and standpoint, what is Jaren Hall like in the huddle when you are in a game and it's intense? What is his demeanor like, and what can you tell us about that scenario?
Yeah, he's a good calming presence, calming, but also full of confidence. And so when we are put in certain situations, you just, when he talks or has something to say, or even just his presence there, you're like, we'll be all right. We'll go down, we'll execute, we'll do the things we need to do, and hopefully the outcome is what we want it to be. So,
is Jaren Hall a backwards hat guy like you?
He is.
I love that swagger and confidence, man. I love it so much. Yeah. Okay, we'll end with this. What's the rest of your week with BYU football and practice and travel like? Can you walk us through the timeline of the week?
Yeah, so we have a couple practices here, and we take off and head over there Thursday morning, and we'll practice over there a couple times and prepare for the game, and so that's kind of the week for us. Started school, and so we're all going to classes and all that, and practice here at the beginning of the week, and then head over there Thursday and practice some more and prepare for the game. So
plenty of time to do homework on a long flight, right?
Plenty of time.
Clark, congratulations on getting through camp and to game week. We're obviously excited about what the offensive line is going to do, perhaps more so than ever. A lot of eyes will be on the offensive line. You guys have earned that attention. Let's give you some BYU Sports Nation karma to go take care of business in Tampa against South Florida. You continue to rock that hat and that mustache, and I'll talk to you in Tampa, man.
Appreciate it. Thank you.